Every single day you wake up, you're handed something priceless. Not money, not fame, not status. You're handed 24 hours. And the crazy part? Most people treat it like it's guaranteed. Like tomorrow is promised. Like next week is secured. But let me tell you something. Time doesn't wait. Time doesn't negotiate. Time doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, your comfort zone. It moves. And if you don't move with it, you get left behind. Every single day mentality means this. When your feet hit the floor in the morning, you already decided that today counts. Not tomorrow. Not when things get better. Not when I feel ready. Today. Because average people wait for motivation. Average people wait for the perfect mood. But winners? Winners create momentum. Winners decide that whether they feel good or not, whether they're tired or not, whether the world believes in them or not, they're showing up. You say you want success? You say you want greatness? Then you can't treat Monday like it's optional. You can't treat Tuesday like it's practice. You can't treat Wednesday like it doesn't matter. Every single day is game day. Every single day is the championship. Because the life you want is built in the quiet hours when nobody's clapping, nobody's watching, nobody's posting about it. It's built when you choose discipline over distraction. It's built when you choose growth over comfort. Listen to me carefully. You don't need a new year. You don't need a new month. You need a new mindset, an every single day mindset. The kind of mindset that says, if I got breath in my lungs, I got work to do. The kind that says, I refuse to waste this day complaining about what I can't control when I can dominate what I can. The kind that understands that small daily wins compound into unstoppable confidence. Make it count. Not because it's easy, not because it's convenient, but because one day you're going to wish you had the time you're wasting right now. And when opportunity knocks, it won't ask if you were comfortable. It will ask if you were prepared. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't just get up. Rise up. Decide that this day will not be ordinary. Decide that this day will move you one step closer. Decide that this day, this single, powerful, irreplaceable day, will count. Time is the one currency you spend whether you're rich or broke, motivated or tired, focused or distracted. Every single morning when you open your eyes, you receive a fresh deposit of 24 hours. No more, no less. And here's the truth most people ignore. Once you spend it, you can't get it back. There are no refunds, no exchanges, no rollovers into tomorrow. That hour you wasted scrolling, that afternoon you spent doubting yourself, that evening you gave to excuses, it's gone. Forever. We live like we have unlimited tomorrows. We say, I'll start next week. I'll chase my goals next month. I'll fix my habits next year. But the clock doesn't pause for procrastination. It keeps ticking whether you act or not. And the scary part? The years stack up fast. One day you look back and realize the days you thought were small were actually your life in progress. The ordinary Tuesdays, the random Thursdays, those weren't filler days. They were your opportunity. When you truly understand that time is non-refundable, your perspective shifts. You stop arguing over things that don't matter. You stop giving energy to people who drain you. You stop waiting for the perfect moment because you realize the perfect moment is now. Not when you feel confident, not when conditions are ideal, but right here in this imperfect, messy, real day. Every successful person understands this principle. They treat their time like gold. They guard it. They invest it. They don't casually hand it out to distractions. They don't let negativity steal it. They don't allow fear to freeze it because they know something powerful. Time compounds. One focused hour every day becomes skill. One disciplined workout every day becomes strength. One courageous action every day becomes transformation. The tragedy isn't failure. The tragedy is wasted potential. It's having dreams, but never giving them your hours. It's wanting more, but spending your days the same way. When you treat time like it's cheap, you live a cheap life. But when you treat time like it's sacred, everything changes. You become intentional. You become decisive. You become dangerous in the best way. Think about it. If someone handed you a bag of money every morning and told you whatever you don't use disappears at midnight, you wouldn't waste $1. You'd invest it. You'd multiply it. You'd protect it. That's exactly what time is a daily opportunity to build, to grow, to move forward. So don't let today slip through your fingers like it's nothing. Don't assume you'll have another chance to say the words. Take the risk, start the journey. Because the clock is moving, whether you respect it or not. And every second that passes is a second you will never see again. Average is not something you're born into. It's something you accept. It's a quiet decision you make every time you choose comfort over courage, excuses over effort, distraction over discipline. Nobody wakes up and says, I want to live an average life. But they live it anyway because average feels safe. It doesn't demand too much. It doesn't stretch you. It doesn't force you to confront your fears. But here's the truth. Average will cost you your dreams. Average is showing up only when you feel like it. Average is doing just enough to get by. Average is saying, this is good enough, when deep down you know you're capable of more. And the dangerous thing about average? It's comfortable. It doesn't hurt immediately. It doesn't scream at you. It whispers. It tells you to sleep in. It tells you to skip the workout. It tells you to wait one more day. And before you know it, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. Greatness begins the moment excuses end. The moment you stop blaming your environment, your past, your circumstances, your critics. The moment you say, it's on me, that's when everything shifts. Because average people explain why something can't be done. Winners figure out how it can. Average people talk about their plans. Winners execute. Average people complain about the competition. Winners outwork the competition. You have to understand this. Nobody is coming to rescue you from an average life. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you discipline. No one is going to force you to maximize your potential. That's a choice you make daily. And it's not a glamorous choice. It's made in the early mornings when you don't feel like getting up. It's made late at night when you could relax, but choose to improve instead. It's made when you decide to practice one more time, study one more hour, push one more rep. Average is crowded. There's a lot of room there. But excellence? Excellence is lonely. It requires sacrifice. It requires focus. It requires you to separate from habits, and sometimes even people that keep you small. But the reward for refusing average is growth. It's confidence. It's knowing that you didn't leave your potential on the table. The difference between average and extraordinary isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't background. It's standards. It's what you demand from yourself when no one else is watching. When you raise your standards, your actions rise with them. When you eliminate excuses, your results change. At the end of the day, average is a choice. And if it's a choice, so is greatness. The question is whether you're willing to pay the price for more or settle for less than you're truly capable of becoming. Pressure is not your enemy. Discomfort is not your punishment. Struggle is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're being shaped. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. They are formed under intense pressure, deep beneath the surface, where heat and weight combine to create something rare and unbreakable. And just like that diamond, your growth is forged in the moments that test you. Most people run from pressure. The moment things get hard, they retreat. The moment doubt creeps in, they hesitate. The moment failure shows up, they quit. But what if that pressure is exactly what you need? What if the obstacle isn't blocking your path, but building your strength? Because every challenge forces you to stretch. Every setback forces you to adapt. Every uncomfortable situation forces you to grow beyond who you were yesterday. You don't grow when it's easy. You grow when it's difficult. Muscles don't get stronger without resistance. Skills don't improve without repetition and mistakes. Confidence doesn't appear without facing fear. Pressure introduces you to a version of yourself you didn't know existed. The version that keeps going when it's tired. The version that thinks creatively when the plan falls apart. The version that refuses to break. The problem is, we want the reward without the refinement. We want the spotlight without the struggle. We want the results without the resistance. But the resistance is the process. The pressure is the training ground. When you embrace it instead of avoiding it, you transform. You stop seeing hardship as a threat and start seeing it as preparation. Think about the times you've grown the most. It wasn't during the easy seasons. It was during the moments you doubted yourself but pushed forward anyway. It was during the failures that forced you to reevaluate and improve. It was during the criticism that sharpened your focus. Pressure reveals your weaknesses, yes, but it also reveals your power. It exposes where you need to improve, and that awareness is a gift. If you avoid discomfort, you avoid growth. If you escape pressure, you escape potential. The very thing that feels heavy today is strengthening you for tomorrow. Every hard workout builds endurance. Every tough conversation builds maturity. Every obstacle builds resilience. And resilience is what separates those who crumble from those who conquer. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this shaping me into?" Instead of shrinking under pressure, stand tall in it. Let refine you. Let stretch you. Let strengthen you. Because the person you want to become is waiting on the other side of the discomfort. And the only way to reach that stronger, wiser, more powerful version of yourself is to walk through the fire and allow the pressure to turn you into something unbreakable. Motivation feels powerful in the moment. It's emotional. It's exciting. It gives you that surge of energy where you feel unstoppable. But here's the problem. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like a wave. One day you feel inspired. The next day you feel tired. One morning you're ready to conquer the world. The next, you're hitting snooze. If you build your life only on motivation, you'll be inconsistent. And inconsistency never builds greatness. Consistency is different. Consistency doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't wait for the perfect mood. It shows up regardless. It's doing the work when it's boring. It's practicing when nobody's watching. It's studying when your friends are relaxing. It's pushing through when the excitement fades. And that's where real transformation happens. Not in the hype, but in the habit. Anyone can start strong. Almost everybody does. New goals, new routines, new energy. But the real question is, can you keep going when it's no longer new? Can you keep going when progress is slow? Can you keep going when results aren't visible yet? That's the separation. Because success isn't built in giant, dramatic moments. It's built in small, repeated actions stacked on top of each other every single day. Think about it like this. One workout won't change your body. One study session won't change your grades. One day of focus won't build your dream. But do it consistently for months, for years, and everything changes. The compound effect is real. Small efforts, repeated daily, become massive results over time. What feels insignificant today becomes unstoppable momentum tomorrow. Consistency builds discipline. Discipline builds confidence. And confidence builds belief. When you show up daily, even when it's hard, you prove something to yourself. You prove that you are reliable. You prove that your goals matter. You prove that you could trust yourself. And that self-trust is powerful. It's stronger than motivation because it's rooted in action, not emotion. There will be days when you don't feel inspired. Days when you question whether it's worth it. Days when quitting feels easier than continuing. That's when consistency matters most. Not when you're excited. Not when you're praised. But when it's quiet and uncomfortable. Because every time you choose to show up anyway, you strengthen your character. Winning isn't about being intense once in a while. It's about being intentional every day. It's about building systems that carry you when your emotions can't. It's about understanding that the road to success isn't flashy. It's repetitive. And those who master the repetition master the results. Motivation might get you started, but consistency is what carries you across the finish line and turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement every single day you wake up. You are given a blank page. No matter what happened yesterday, the mistakes, the failures, the missed opportunities, today is fresh. That's the power most people overlook. They think change requires a new year, a new environment, or a perfect moment. But reinvention doesn't start with a calendar. It starts with a decision. And that decision can happen right now. You are never stuck. You may feel stuck, but feelings are not facts. Your past does not have the authority to define your future unless you give it permission. The habits you built yesterday can be broken today. The mindset that limited you before can be upgraded now. Reinvention isn't about becoming someone fake. It's about becoming the version of yourself you've been avoiding. The disciplined version, the focused version, the courageous version. Most people underestimate how powerful one decision can be. One decision to wake up earlier. One decision to stop complaining. One decision to start training, studying, building, improving. Those small shifts seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they create a completely different identity. And identity drives everything. When you see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who grows daily, someone who doesn't quit, your actions begin to align with that belief. Reinvention also requires letting go. Letting go of old excuses. Letting go of old labels. Letting go of the story that says, "This is just who I am." Growth demands that you release comfort. It demands that you accept that the old version of you cannot carry you to the next level. Every single day mentality means you don't wait for transformation to happen magically. You create it intentionally. You don't need a dramatic moment. You don't need validation from others. You need commitment. Because every sunrise is proof that you have another opportunity. Another chance to respond differently. Another chance to act boldly. Another chance to move closer to the life you keep imagining. And the beautiful thing is, nobody can take that choice away from you. Reinvention is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about deciding that today you will be 1% better than yesterday. Over time, that 1% compounds into a completely different reality. Different habits, different results, different confidence. All because you chose not to repeat yesterday's limitations. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't carry the weight of who you used to be. Carry the vision of who you are becoming. Decide that this is the day you step into that higher version of yourself. And if this message moves you even one step closer to that decision, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.